Good morning, scholars. Welcome back to the channel. This morning we're going to look at dividing decimals at the grade 4 level. Alright, so the problems are not going to be too difficult, too complicated, right? We're just introducing dividing decimals by whole numbers. Alright, so here we have 12 problems that we're going to work. I've written them in this form, right? So you have the division sign, but we're actually going to set out our brackets, our division brackets, and we're actually just going to divide as we normally would. We're just making sure that we put back our decimal point in the same place that it was. Alright, so we're dividing by whole numbers. You can check the video on dividing decimals by decimals. So that's a different procedure. For these, we're just going to put in our division brackets and work it like we would normally divide, just put back the decimal point. So I'm going to just write a series of division brackets. It's 12 of them, right? So let me just put those in. Doing them in bulk. It's easier to do things in bulk, right? Alright, so I'm good to go. I have my 12 division brackets, and now I'm just going to put in the problems under the brackets, and then we'll go ahead and divide. So we have 26.8, 32.4, 68.8, 72.8, 96.08, 14.4, 50.8, 3.24, 0.082, 0.055, 9.03, and 16.44. Alright, so we're going to do our division, like I said, just like we would normally do. So we're saying 2 into 2 goes 1 time, 2 into 6 goes 3 times. Put back your decimal point. Put back your decimal point, and 2 into 8 goes 4 times. So 26.8 divided by 2, the result, the quotient is 13.4. Right, just put back your decimal point, line it up. 4 cannot go into 3. 4 goes into 32 8 times. Put back your decimal point. 4 goes into 4 once. So 32.4 divided by 4 gives a quotient of 8.1. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Put back your decimal point. 2 goes into 8 4 times. It's that easy, guys. It's that simple. Alright? 8 cannot go into 7, so we don't put anything over the 7, right? You could put a 0 to fill that space. I don't like putting zeros in front of numbers, at the front of numbers. So just leave that space. 8 goes into 72 9 times. Put your decimal point. 8 goes into 8 once. So 72.8 divided by 8 gives a quotient of 9.1. Alright, 96.08 divided by 8. 8 goes into 9 1 time, and there is a remainder of 1. 8 goes into 16 2 times. Put back your decimal point. 8 goes into 0 times, and 8 goes into itself once. 96.08 divided by 8 gives a quotient of 12.01. 14.4 divided by 12. 12 goes into 14 once, remainder 2, and we put back our decimal point. 12 goes into 24 2 times. So when we divide and we get a remainder, we just put the remainder as a small number, a smaller number. Don't make it big like the other one because you might confuse yourself, right? The original number that was there, when you carry the remainder, make it smaller than the original number. So it's 12 into 24. 50.8 divided by 4. So 4 goes into 5 once, remainder 1. 4 goes into 10 twice, remainder 2. So we put the decimal point here, and 4 goes into 28 7 times. So 50.8 divided by 4 gives a quotient of 12.7. Alright, now 4 cannot go into 3, so we're not going to put any number here, but what we can put, since the decimal point comes immediately after it, we can just say 4 goes into 3. We can put a 0 there in the ones place to indicate that there is no other whole number, just a 0 to fill that space. 4 into 32 goes 8 times, and 4 into itself goes once. So 3.24 divided by 4 gives a quotient of 0.81. So now we have 0.082, we're dividing by 2. There's nothing here, just 0, so we have to actually fill that space back in. 2 into 0, 0. 2 into 8 goes 4 times. 2 into 2 goes 1 time. So 0.082 divided by 2 gives a quotient of 0.041. Alright, so we have 3 more to go. 0.055 divided by 11. Again, we have zeros at the front. So if it's a decimal and there's no whole number, yes, you can put the 0 to fill that space. And 11 into 0, also 0. Now look at this one here. 11 cannot go into 5, so we have to put a 0 in the 100th place to hold that space. You can't just leave the space here. And then you say 11 into 55 goes 5 times. So 0.055 divided by 11 gives a quotient of 0.005. This space, you had to hold a space with the 0. You can't just ignore the space like I was telling you here, because this is in front of the number, at the beginning of the number, and we have a whole number there, so you don't need a 0. Right here in the middle of the number, since 11 cannot go into 5, we must hold that space here. Alright, so 9.03 divided by 3, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Put back your decimal point. 3 goes into 0, 0 times, and 3 goes into itself once. So 9.03 divided by 3 gives a quotient of 3.01. Alright, finally we have 16.44 and we're dividing by 4. So 4 cannot go into 1. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Put back your decimal point there. 4 goes into 4 once, and 4 goes into 4 once. 16.44 divided by 4 gives a quotient of 4.11. So just remember, you're dividing decimals by whole numbers. Set it out as you would normally set it out if you were dividing whole numbers by whole numbers. The only thing you need to remember, line up your decimal point right over where it was. Put back your decimal point. If you need to carry over a number to the other place value, carry it as a smaller digit so that you'll see the difference and you won't be confused thinking that it was originally there, right? So anything that you have to carry, put it as a smaller digit. If it cannot go into a particular digit in the middle of the number, you need to hold that space with a 0 before you combine the other two place values and do your division. This is very important to do, right? So make sure, but if it's at the front, you don't need to put a 0 in front, especially if there's another whole number there, right? But if there is no whole number, you can put the 0 just to indicate that in the ones place there are no ones. So you can put the 0 there to indicate it. Alright, so if you have been helped by this video, please just comment to say thank you, miss, and please share the video so that other students may benefit from the video. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so now. And if there are any topics you want me to do videos on, just drop it in the comments and let me know. And I'll see you in the next video.